The following video may contain footage, articles, and subject matter not suitable for a young audience. Viewers' discretion is advised. So, the music industry has a long history of controversy, from exploitation to scandals. Anyone remember Phil Spector? In this photo, he's very young with his wife Ronnie from the Ronettes. Phil Spector was a genius record producer who worked with acts like the Beatles, the Righteous Brothers, and the Ronettes. In 2003, actress Lana Clarkson was found in his home. In 2009, he was convicted of second-degree murder. This crime and conviction of Mr. Phil Spector overshadowed any genius and stellar career he may have built for himself in his younger years. Do you know Paul Francis Gadd? Or you might know him as Gary Glitter. In the 1970s, he was a popular English singer well into the 1980s, and he was known for his energetic live performances and glam rock persona. But in 1997, he was arrested for downloading thousands of illegal images and videos. He was convicted and sent to jail for a 16-year jail term. He only served half the time when he went out on parole, but just recently, he made headlines again because they recalled him back to prison. How about Jerry Lee Lewis, an American pianist and singer-songwriter? But his popularity and fame took a nosedive when the news broke that he wed his then 13-year-old first cousin. Quite honestly, it doesn't take much effort to look at the dark side of the music industry. One article highlighted a few music scandals that rocked the industry. Also, the dark side of Motown. Here is frontman to the rock group Guns N' Roses' Axl Rose, and he apparently is sued for alleged violent assault from a former model. Remember when the Beatles said that they're more popular than Jesus? The world was beside itself. And with these against P Diddy, it only showcases and highlights power dynamics and just the dark underbelly of the music industry. It doesn't start and end with P Diddy. I went down the rabbit hole of information, videos. Right now, as I'm filming this, in real time, witnesses and people who knew someone that used to go to these parties or that was a victim of P Diddy.
Today we filed a lawsuit in the United States District Court, Southern District of New York, for our client, plaintiff Thalia Grace, who has given permission to use her name. In her lawsuit, Thalia, through her attorneys, sues Sean Diddy Combs, also known as the defendant, and another individual and other entities.
And I guarantee you, by the time I post this video, there will probably be new allegations, new stories, and unfortunately, more victims. It's very sad, but like I said, it truly showcases the dark side of the entertainment industry as a whole. But specifically what we're talking about today is the music industry. For those of you that know what I'm talking about, already know Jaguar, Wright.
He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that.
Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now, I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, you know I know.
I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you
I
saying?
went there to see the lifestyle.
L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to
City.
something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what
camp.
it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks, right?
It was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you
I
saying?
went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at.
I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year. After being around that man, Sean Puffy Combs, I don't sleep to this day. I have a problem sleeping to this day. Like, yo, man, I'm here to work, man. I ain't sang in a week. I mean, I'm 13 years old, and I'm telling him, look, You gonna put me in the studio, man. You got Biggie Smalls in there. You got Craig Mack in there. I'm not here to party with you.
You can do a quick YouTube search and just look at past interviews with people that have been blowing the whistle on this. A lot of people believed it, and a lot of people just chalked it up to them clout chasing or just being conspiracy theorists or just talking crazy. And now what we are seeing is that there's truth to what they were saying. I also want to mention this. As of September 2024, Sean P. Diddy Combs had several allegations against him, some of which are sex trafficking and racketeering. And it is important to note that these are allegations that he has pled not guilty. The case is still ongoing, and I guarantee you there are going to be more posts, videos, and articles written about this. All of what I'm talking about today has all been made public. The rabbit hole I went down kind of gave me more questions than answers, and that's what I'm going to discuss today.
All catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. Lies will be exposed. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing, I know so many things I shouldn't know. When I walk in a room, heads go down.
I'm suing Puff. I'm suing Interscope. I'm suing Epic. I'm suing Bad Boy for all the music that I have written for Cassie that was derailed. I'm suing for my career that they took from me, that I earned, that I worked for.
No, I don't know if guys have noticed this. Like, a lot of ladies drink water at parties. They just, so you have, if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Gotta keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
This is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but
yeah.
Rock with me, but just check it out. You need a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Yeah.
Heat. You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning.
No.
Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, like, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
That just sounds disgusting.
One particular party, lots of big names. There was an artist there who said, "Hey, Lecrae, around 1 a.m., make sure you're not here. You just don't want to be here at 1 in the morning." Now, my pride kicked in, like, yo, you don't know me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can handle myself. Like, I'm not some little church boy who ain't never seen nothing. Like, I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what you talking about? But at this particular party, Brandon T came up to me and he said, "Yo, man, like, Satan will steal your soul in this industry, bro." And he was really like, he's like, "I love your soul and your spirit, and I want you to thrive, Craig. I don't want you to get devoured out here." And I just appreciated that, because for him, he was like, he had seen some detriments and some of the dark side of things, and he was like, "Yo, I want you to be taken care of."
So I'm going to give you a timeline of notable relationships of Sean Diddy Combs, and I'm sure there are more than I'm putting on this chart, but these are sort of high profile. So in 1994, he begins dating Kim Porter. And it's worth noting that she does have a son with Albie Shore that Sean Diddy Combs did adopt, but they welcomed their first son together in 1998. In 1999, this is when he had a high-profile relationship with J-Lo. But their relationship did not last very long, because by 2001, he breaks up with J-Lo and he's rumored to be dating Naomi Campbell. We skip forward to 2006. Kim Porter and Sean Diddy Combs welcome twin daughters. And by 2007, he begins dating Cassie Ventura, or the artist Cassie. This relationship will also be very rocky. But in 2008, Sean Diddy Combs briefly dates Cameron Diaz, and in 2018, Cassie and Sean Diddy Combs break up. Tragically, that same year, Kim Porter passes away. And till this day, there are a lot of conspiracy theories surrounding her death. And in 2019, he was rumored to be dating Lori Harvey. And that same year, he was linked to Gina Huen. Gina also has spoken out with allegations of abuse at the hands of P. Diddy. In 2022, he starts to date Young Miami, and by 2023, they break up. So let's talk about these P. Diddy parties. So here's some footage circa 2017, and it features artists, obviously, Sean P. Diddy Combs, Usher, A$AP Rocky, Wiz Khalifa, and at some point, you'll see Alicia Keys. A lot of the parties that Sean Diddy Combs would throw over the span of 20 plus years always had a guest list of the hottest and latest A-list stars and celebrities. With all of the federal charges and arrest of Sean Diddy Combs, You are probably going to see in real time how many celebrities were associated with all of his bad boy behavior and celebrities that are going to distance themselves. As I post this and as you're watching, there are probably a handful of A-list stars and celebrities that are starting to scrub and get rid of any digital association with Sean Diddy Combs. Does that make them innocent? Does that make them guilty? I don't know. But with what we know now, and what I guarantee will come to light later, is going to be the downfall of the old system to the music industry. This is going to be historic, and they are going to be talking about this for years. Like I said earlier, in real time, everyday people that you've never heard of have been affected by these parties and these after parties. And I'll give you a warning. The further you get down the rabbit hole, you're going to find that some of your favorite artists, musicians, actors, celebrities, and even politicians are probably guilty themselves of crimes. They could also be victims of the industry, or both. If you go to different social media platforms, all you have to do is look to the comment section, and people are commenting on this dark secret surrounding these parties.
Cause P Diddy be wanting to party, and you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did.
So here's a little timeline of some of the things stemming back to the early 90s of controversies surrounding Sean Diddy Combs. And like I said earlier, I'm not including every single thing because I'm sure there's things that have not come to light yet, but here are some notable controversies. So in 1991, the CCNY tragedy. Combs is involved in a tragic incident at a concert where 9 people pass away in a stampede. He is criticized for inadequate security arrangements. In 1995, here we see the Jake Robles shooting. Combs is linked to the unaliving of Jake Robles, a friend of Death Row Records co-founder Suge Knight. Sean Diddy Combs denies involvement. In 1998, attacking Steve Stout. Combs physically assaults music executive Steve Stout. He is charged with assault and sentenced to a 1-day anger management class. And in 1999, this is the infamous club shooting where J-Lo was dating him and involved. He was arrested for the incident and later was acquitted. And at the time, there was a young new rap artist also involved. And eventually, he was the one that took the fall for the entire incident. In 2013, the scuffle with J. Cole. Combs is allegedly involved in a physical altercation with rapper J. Cole at a music awards after-party. Both parties deny the incident. And then the following year, in 2014, there's also the alleged assault on Drake. Combs is accused of punching rapper Drake in a nightclub altercation. He denies the allegation. And if it's not bad enough to have altercations with your fellow musicians and artists, he decided in 2015 to have a physical altercation with his son's assistant football coach while watching his son at football practice. Eventually, he was arrested, but the charges were dropped to misdemeanor. And in 2019, his ex-girlfriend Gina accuses him of physical and emotional abuse. He has since denied the allegations. And it's worth noting that I took some of these controversies from a recent Rolling Stones magazine, and trust me, all of the allegations that are coming to light, there are more incidents throughout this timeline. But the most notable one is in 2023, Cassie Ventura lawsuit. And this is where she alleges pretty much their entire relationship, that she was abused. And we find ourselves in 2024, and with multiple investigations into Combs' alleged misconduct, everything is still ongoing, and he has pled not guilty to a lot of them. But they're still coming. There's still lawsuits and allegations. Now, let's focus on events stemming from Cassie Ventura's allegations. Cassie Ventura is a former girlfriend and protege of Sean Diddy Combs, and she files a lawsuit against him for abuse. And within less than 24 hours, the lawsuit is settled and Combs issues a statement denying the allegations. By November 23, 2023, 2 more women accuse Combs of abuse. November 28, 2023, Combs temporarily steps down as chairman of his cable television network, Revolt. December 6, 2023, another woman alleges abuse by Sean Diddy Combs and others in 2003. Combs denies all allegations. February 26, 2024, a music producer alleges abuse by Combs as well. March 25th, 2024, Homeland Security investigations raids Combs' homes in Los Angeles and Miami. The very next day, Sean Diddy Combs' lawyer calls the raids a gross use of military-level force. And these next allegations affect a second Combs generation. A lawsuit alleges that Combs' son was involved in an incident against a woman on a yacht that was chartered by Sean Diddy Combs. Sean Combs is listed as a co-defendant in those allegations. And on April 26, 2024, Combs files a motion to dismiss several elements of one of the lawsuits against him. May 10, 2024, Combs asked a federal judge to dismiss the lawsuit alleging in 2003. And a week later, on May 17, 2024, CNN released exclusive footage showing Combs and his girlfriend Cassie Ventura back in 2016 at a Los Angeles hotel. On May 19, 2024, Combs apologizes for the abuse on Cassie Ventura. And then, on September 16, 2024, Combs was arrested by federal agents on a sealed indictment with the U.S. Attorney in Manhattan. So with his arrest, there are new allegations every day, new witnesses, and now we have new conspiracy theories. One is the release of a posthumous Kim Porter's memoir. I believe this comes from a friend that had held on to it. It's somewhat of a journal or a diary in Kim Porter's own words. But as of right now, Kim Porter's children and family claim that the book that was released and hit #1 on Amazon is fake. Now, whether it's fake or not, one thing we know is true. Sean Diddy Combs has a very violent past in relationships and his business dealings.
The tunnels from Diddy's house led to Hugh Hefner's house. That naked pool was down there long before Diddy was able to buy a home. It was Hugh Hefner's house where most of the offenses that the women accused Bill Cosby of took place. At the Playboy Mansion. And everybody know Hugh Hefner was filming, had cameras in the wall. I don't know.
So as of right now, this is also considered a rumor or conspiracy theory. Rumors are swirling that authorities found an underground tunnel at Diddy's LA mansion. Following the raids and Sean Diddy Combs' subsequent arrest, numerous social media posts began circulating, including a screenshot from a supposed CNN broadcast suggesting that authorities found an underground tunnel. But remember, sometimes conspiracy theories have a grain of truth, because here, many claimed this tunnel connected to the infamous Playboy Mansion, the former home of the late Playboy magazine founder Hugh Hefner. According to a since-deleted article from Playboy magazine, as reported by People, the Playboy Mansion was known to have a series of secret underground tunnels connecting to various nearby homes, including those of Hollywood legends like Jack Nicholson, Warren Beatty, and James Caan. These hidden tunnels, which once facilitated discreet movement between the properties, were reportedly sealed off in the late 1980s. And remember that warning I gave you earlier that you shouldn't be surprised to see some of your favorite A-list musicians, celebrities, and even politicians involved in this P Diddy mess? Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, is alleging that politicians in New York City are on some of those freak-off party tapes. And it is definitely fueling conspiracy theories of who else are they going to find on those tapes that Sean Diddy Combs recorded during those after parties. Recently, Gene Deal spoke to The Art of Dialogue and claimed that all of the Bad Boy Records label owners' ongoing legal issues were connected to his relationship with New York City Mayor Eric Adams, who gave him the key to the city last year. And here you can read on the screen the direct quote that they took from Gene Deal and his allegations and claims of this connection. And just as the conspiracy theory starts to circulate, look what happens. NYC Mayor Adams pleads not guilty to federal corruption charges. And here Gene Deal called out New York City Mayor Eric Adams 4 days before his federal indictment, according to YouTube's The Art of Dialogue. And here are some other notable actions taken by people in high-up places. Here we have Chairman Randy Goodman to step down from Sony Music Nashville. Now, does it mean he's involved? No. But then you kind of start wondering, because guess what? Kevin Lyle stepping down as 300 Entertainment CEO. And then before you know it, boom, here we have Kaz Kobayashi to step down as president and CEO of Warner Music Japan. And then if that doesn't start getting you thinking, here we have recently Max Lusada, outgoing Warner Music CEO of Recorded Music, pens goodbye note to staff. Now, does this mean that they are as guilty as Sean Diddy Combs or even associated with his wrongdoings? No, but it does make you wonder. In the days, months, even years to come, there probably are going to be more allegations, unfortunately more victims, and definitely there will be the downfall of probably some of your favorite A-list celebrities, musicians, and stars. Now, I know you all like when I do spooky and scary story times, but quite honestly, this is probably the scariest one I've told yet. And after diving down the rabbit hole to all of this mess, I gotta say, ghosts and extraterrestrial beings don't scare me as much as humans. So that was a lot. And it just goes to show you, it's the tip of the iceberg and just the tentacles of this dark side of the music industry just reaches so far and everywhere. Don't be surprised that almost every artist that you love or idolize, and if they are in a position of power, of fortune and fame, and have long careers in the industry, they probably are a part of the system or uphold the system to exploit the smaller fish. And it's very sad. And like I said earlier, these are definitely allegations. This is something that you can research yourself. It's already out there. I will list some resources and some websites where I got some of my information, but I guarantee you, this is not the last you're going to hear about the allegations against P Diddy. And I'll say it again, it doesn't start and stop with him. This has been going on for such a long time, but with technology, with social media, we are seeing it real time, whereas maybe 50 years ago, 20 years ago, we didn't. So that's the video for today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.